Hello gang, Merlin Don on the mic. Today we will talk about the pre-release event of OP11. So OP11 release event, if you go to the official One Piece card game webpage, you can see the period time that you will be able to play in this event. And if you go in this period to play this event and you buy like a booster box during this event period, don't forget to tell the store manager that you need to receive one additional release event pack. If you do that, don't forget that this is like the command that comes from the official Bandai webpage, right? So players who purchase one booster box during the event period, and this is the event period, right, will receive one additional release event pack. So the format can be either constructed or sealed, but at least here in Switzerland we always play the sealed format. So you will receive six booster packs from the new OP11 set, and then you will need to construct in like 30 minutes or so your deck, and your deck will be consisted of 40 cards, guys. So 40 cards. You can search your location store on the TCG Plus application from Bandai, and let's see the participation, the prize list. So when you participate in this event, you will receive a participation booster pack, an event booster pack, and this one will have the Dracula Mihawk in it, and of course the Rainbow Luffy. So the Rainbow Luffy is a leader that can only be used in these events, in such events. You can't take him to an offline regionals, for example. And what this leader does, it's 5 life, 5k leader, and it's treated as a card with all card names, types, and attributes according to all the Bandai One Piece card game rules. So if in a card is written, for example, if your leader is Zoro, then this applies also to this leader, because you need to think this leader has all leaders, right? So the release event pack is this one, and it has like two cards of the new OP11 set, and you can find 75 types of cards there in total, and they will have the gold stamp release event. And of course the winner, and this is the card that we want to take, this is why we make this video, the winner of this event will take this card back home. So as you can see, it's a Mihawk, it's a promo Mihawk card, 4 cost, 5k, 1k counter. Activate menu, you may return this character to the owner's hand if you have 3 or more blue cross skill type characters. Play up to 1 cross skill type character card with a cost of 5 from your hand. And of course you will have the gold stamp release event winner. This is exactly the card that we want to take from this event, right? So let's go to the sim and see what we need to take. So you will open 6 booster packs. What you want to grab are the 2Ks. So the particular thing that we see in this format, in the OP11 format, is that we do have only 5 vanilla cards. Vanilla cards are the cards that do not have any text, so they do not do anything at all, no. But they do have counter, and they have vanilla stats 5-7, 4-6, 6-8, and so on, right? And normally you do want to play these cards on curve when you play on a pre-release or a release event, as this one is called, right? But in this one we see that we do have so many 2Ks with good stats also, like 5-6, which is a 2K, like 6-7, which is a 2K, and if you ask me, I would prefer to have these cards rather than the vanillas, because these cards are they are great if you play them on curve, so you have a 6-7 instead of 6-8, but if you don't play this card and you want to play another card, you still have a 2k in your hand, right? As we can see, we have here the Usopp 5-6 with a 2k. We have a Frankie 4-4, it's a 2k, but it has an once per turn when your opponent activates an event this turn, all your characters gain plus 2k power during this turn. That means that if your opponent activates an event, then your characters will be hard to be killed, right? It's not such a great once per turn attribute, but let's say that it is a 2k. So if you see this card, so if you see the 2ks, I would grab all the 2ks I can, right? The Prince Cruz, this is not a bad option also to play it at 1 don, because it's a 1 don 2k attack, but it has a when attacking all of your characters, opponent characters, excuse me, with a power of 2k or less cannot activate blocker for the rest of your turn. And don't forget, you can there are also some ways to reduce the attack power of your opponent. So it's not only 2k, you can also play this card. X-Drake, perfect card, almost vanilla stats with a 2k. Surume, exactly the same. Tori, exactly the same. Vinsmoke, Niji, exactly the same, with a great, in my opinion, art. I really love the art of this card. We do have a 4-cost 5k Reizu, which is a 2k, and if your leader has a Vinsmoke family type, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 card of Ecluntic Zerma and take it. So it's a searcher. If you play the Rainbow leader, the Rainbow Luffy, you do have a leader. You do have a leader that has a Vinsmoke family, because your Luffy is like every leader, every attribute. You get the point. So you will get to search, but this search is not that strong. Only if you play many copies of cards of the Vinsmoke family. Let's go to the Gotti. It's a 3-cost 4k and also a 2k, and when attacking you may trust 1 Fire Tank Pirates type card from your hand, and then it does something. But Fire Tank Pirates Cap, we don't have that many cards, so it's like only 2k if you have that. 5-6, it's great. Like I said, instead of the vanilla cards, instead of these vanilla cards, if you find, and I think that you will find, if you find these cards that they are almost vanilla with a 2k, guys, grab these cards. They are great, and you still have like a 2k in your hands. So let's go further. We have the Little Sadie here. It's a non-play -1. If your leader has an Impel down, rest up on your opponent's characters with a cost 3 or less. It's a great card. It's a great card because it's a 2k, and you can also use it to rest one blocker of your opponents. Because don't forget, if you play your Rainbow Luffy, your leader is also an Impel down leader, right? Charlotte Daifuku, exactly the same, great card because it's almost a vanilla with a 2k. Charlotte Montour, activate main, -1, then rest this character. Your opponent places 2 cards from their trust to the bottom of the deck in any order. Then add the top card of your life cards to your hand. I wouldn't do that if I were you. If you find this card, just use it as a 2k. We have the Soroisen, the young Soroisen here with an activate main. So again, all of these cards are the 2k cards, right? -1, then rest this character, declare a cost of your choice, blah blah blah. This is only if you play the new Katakuri leader, because how would you know the cost of the top card of your opponent's deck? You will not. Okay, maybe you are like extremely lucky, but yeah, we don't want to use this one. We want to use this card as a 2k. The 10 siblings. Again, almost a vanilla with the 2k, great card to grab. We have the Aramaki, a 2k and activate main. You may trust this character. If your leader has a navy, we do have the navy character. If we play the Rainbow Luffy, choose one of your characters with the navy type. That character can attack, blah blah blah, at active characters during this turn. Then trust to cast from the top of your deck. So this is only a situational card. You might have a navy character on the field and you want to attack with him like a guard, for example, and ignore the, and attack the active characters. Keep in mind that this is also, if you play a big navy character, also like the Bogart, for example, this card could also help you, right? So it's a great 2K. Caribou, I wouldn't recommend you to play this card on the field because of the on-play. Trust 2 cards from your hand, so I would play this card only as a 2K, right? Except the case that you play Blackbeard. If you play Blackbeard in your event, then feel free to do that, because you ignore your own plays. Sarahebi, almost vanilla 2K, great card, very good, is a great card against Nami, but against all other decks it's just a 2K. Otohime, if your leader is Shirahoshi, you may turn one card from the top of your life. Again, this is only for the Shirahoshi event attribute. We have a Keimi. Once per turn, when your opponent activates an event or trigger, you may activate this effect. If your opponent has 2 or more life cards, trust the top card of both players' life area. Again, this is a card that you want to play as a 2K, exactly like the Otohime, and the Siphon. Charlotte Siphon is also a great card because it's an almost vanilla stats with a 2K. So let's go further to the blockers. We do have some blockers here. If you see the numbers, we do have 18 blockers, and I don't have the Caribou in it. I mean this one, because you don't want to play this character. But let's say that it's also a blocker, right? You can play him, but you don't want to play him. So we have the Smoker. It's a 4 cost, 5K with an 1K counter. It's a blocker, and if you attach one don to him, the character cannot be KO'd by effects or characters without the special attribute. This is a really strong card, because your opponent needs to have a card with the special attribute. As you can see, the special attribute is on the top right on each and every card. We can see here, for example, this one is strike, this one is slash, this one is strike, and this one is special. Smoker is special. So great card, strong card for the release event. The Duel, it's a blocker. You may trust one card from your hand. If your leader has a navy, give up one of your opponent's characters -6 during this turn. It's a situation card. You either play it as a blocker, or if you do have the capacity, if you do have many cards in your hand and you can afford to trust one card, the effect is like crazy. We have Borsalino. It's a blocker, 3 cost 3K, activate main. You may rest these characters. Up to one of your navy type leaders or characters can attack active characters during this turn. Again, if you play Rainbow Luffy and play this card, it's perfect, because you can attack active characters, guys, with your leader, and also if you have a navy character in your field. So let's see the Charlotte Praline. It's also blocker, rest up to one for your opponent characters with a cost 1 or below. I would take it as a blocker. We have the Vinsmoke Ichizi. It's a 7 cost 7K blocker, not bad. And on opponent's attack, if you only have characters, Germa characters, etc, etc, etc. So I will not read any further. In a release event, we will not have only Germa characters in play. So let's keep that. Or, your leader get to +1K power, then you trust 2 cards from your deck. If you have only this character in the field as a blocker, you may also activate it, but if you have also others, you will not be able to do that. We have the Yunchi. If all of your characters on the field have a type that includes Germa, exactly the same, this character cannot be KO'd or rested by your opponent effects. Great card for the normal format, but not here. We do have Nami with an on play. If your leader is a multi-call, so we stop there, except the case that you do play a multicolor leader in this event. So if you do that, then you draw 3 cards and you place 2 cards from your hand to the top of your bottom of your deck in any order. It has a great effect, but again, only if you play a multicolor leader, and I would not recommend that for such an event, because in such an event you want to have a leader with 5 life. We have Brook. It's a blocker. On play, place up to 1 character with an original cost of 1 at the bottom of the owner's deck. Yeah, it's blocker for me. We do have the Pedro. If you have 4 or less cards in your hand, this character gets blocker, but it's only 1 cost, so it's a great card. And most of the times in a release event, you will find yourself to have to be low on cards. So this card will be a blocker. Almost the same, Monkey D. Luffy. If you have 5 or more cards in your hand, this character cannot attack. So you will almost always have only a few cards in your hand. So this card is also great because it's a blocker and you can also attack with it. Katakuri, if you pull this card, just play it. It's a great card. It's an 8k, 8 cost character. If you do have other Big Mom Pirates type characters with cost 3 or more on your field, you set them as active, and then you add up 1 Dawn cards from your Dawn deck and rest it. So you also run with this character. Hannibal, it's a blocker. If your leader has the Impel Down type, you may play 1 Impel Down character. Let's say it's a blocker. 2, also a blocker. Once per turn, when your opponent character attacks you, you may activate this event. If that character has a slash attribute, this character gains 5k power during this battle. So it's almost impossible for a slash character to KO this card. Briscola, it's a blocker, a 2 cost blocker. We have the Capone Bez, who is a blocker, and once per turn, if you have a Supernova time character other than the Bez that will be removed from the field of your opponent effect, you may add 1 character, that character to the top of your life cards face down instead. So this is for the normal format, right? So other than that, this is a blocker, a 2 cost blocker, great card. Ciarelli or Ciarley, I hope that I pronounced that correct. It's a blocker. On play, you may flip the top card of your life area face down, so I stop there because it's most likely for the Syracuse leader, but for us in a release event, it's a blocker. Cone Maids, it's a blocker. Activate main. If your leader is Syracuse, you may turn 1 card from the top of your life cards face down. I stop here because again, it's for the Syracuse leader, but for us it's a blocker. And Megalo, it's a blocker. Opponent's turn. If your leader is Syracuse, this character gains 4k power. That's great because if you play the Rainbow Luffy, this will be a 3 cost 6k blocker. Not bad, right? So exactly like the 2ks, the blockers. If you see any blockers, grab them. So your main focus will be between the 2ks here and the blockers here to construct this deck. Then let's talk about some top cards, some cards that you can really use. We already talked about Smoker. If you find this card, just grab it. There is also the Nico Robin with 3k, 4k, 3 cost 4k power. If you attach 2 Dawn to her, first has a 6k swing, and then when attacking, give up to 1 of your opponent characters minus 2k until the end of their next turn. This is like huge, right? It's such a powerful card. If you find it, grab it, and it's a common one. Hibari, on play, give 1 of your opponent's characters minus 2, and also when attacking, this character gains plus 1k power during this turn. Then, if your leader has a Navy type, so if you play the Rainbow Luffy, you will have it. Up to 1 of your leaders may attack active characters during this turn. So, Rainbow Luffy here for the win. Borsalino, we talked about this card. If you find it, grab it. Rorono Azoro, activate main once per turn, give up to 1 rested on card to your leader or your characters. It's always nice because it's an almost vanilla card with 5/6, 1k counter, and the activate main effect We have the Yoromi. If your leader is Irahoshi, so if you play the rainbow one, this character can attack characters on the same turn that it is played. So you have a 4 cost 6k, a vanilla stat Rush character for against the other characters of your opponent. Such a great card if you play Rainbow Luffy again. Lord of the Coast, 1 play, 4 cost 5k power, up to one of your opponent's rested characters will not become active in opponent's next refresh phase in a release event. This is such a strong effect. And again, also with Jimby, if you find this card that's an SR, you grab it, 6k, 8k power, on play if your leader has a Fishman or Merfolk type. If you play the Rainbow Luffy, you have it, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Great effect. Activate main also, if you have and play another Fishman or Merfolk, they can attack characters that play the same turn they are played. Hatsan, activate main, you may rest this character if your leader has a Fishman or Merfolk type. Up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost 3 or less may not be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. So if you find that, also grab it, because you win like an extra turn for you, right? Or you can ignore some characters and just go face and win more easy. Then we have 6 cost 7k Fisher Tiger. When this character would be KO'd, if this character would be KO'd by one of your opponent effects, you can trust one card and rest one Dawn, and then you play one Fishman from your hand. And on play, rest up to one of your opponent characters without cost, guys. One of your opponent characters. It's huge. We have the Sanji. It's also an SR when this character is KO'd by an opponent effects, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't think that they will KO something. Okay, maybe, because there are some events here. So let's see. You just search and you take one card, and then you have an on-play, return up to one character with the original power of 5k or less to the owner's hand. This is also a huge on-play effect for a release event, because your opponent will sacrifice 5 of his Dawn cards to play something, and then you return that to his hand and you establish a body. This is perfect. Then we have, of course, a second card, Monkey D. Luffy. If you find it, you play it immediately in your deck. It's an 8k, 8 cost Rusher, and when attacking you can trust one card from your hand and you return up to one card with a cost 4 or less to the owner's hand. And you give one rested Dawn card to your leader or character. So it's like a broken card, a totally broken card. Katakuri blocker, 8k, 8 cost. We have talked about this card already. Brule, you take one life and you run. If you ask me, yeah, it's a great card. I would play that card, because when you take your life, don't forget, you still have a resource in your hand, right? You still have the tempo. You don't lose anything. You ramp one Dawn. It's a win-win. 10 cost Charlotte Linlin. If you have the Rainbow Luffy, it's a 10 cost 12k body with Rush, and your opponent will not be able to get rid of that. So if you find that and you play Rainbow Luffy, play this card. We have also Garb. Garb is when you may play 3 cards with a navy type from your trash, and then it does something. So if you do have 3 navy cards in your, or if you do play some navy cards in your deck, it's a great card. But other than that, it's the same. You have an 8 cost 8k power in a release event. An 8 cost 8k power is not that easy to be removed from your opponent's effects or character, so you just play this card. And if you do have the 3 navy cards in your trust, then it's better, even better for you. Then we do have the Kobe. On play, up to one of your characters with can attack one of your opponent active characters this turn, and this is not navy locked, so this is a great sec card with a cost of 8 and attack power of 9. And when attacking, you may return 2 cards from your trust to the bottom of your deck in any order, and then your leader or one of your characters gains 1k power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So this is so overpowered. You can have a 6k leader each and every turn if you can defend this card, if you play and can defend this card. It's a card to win this tournament. We have the Fukaboshi. If this character could be KO'd, you may arrest your leader. It's also a great card if you play the Rainbow Luffy. Honesty Impact. So, what can I say? Give up to one of your opponent characters, minus 4k power, and then you can KO one character of your opponent's 6k power or less. So you can imagine that your opponent plays the Kobe. You can instantly KO that on the next turn by playing the Honesty Impact. Exactly the same goes for Monkey D. Luffy, Katakuri, and so on. So if you find this card, just grab it, guys. And that was it. We have the vanillas. I would ignore the vanillas in this set. Grab as many as 2Ks as you can. Go ahead and grab as many blockers as you find here. And of course, let me talk also about the events of this set. We do have the Honesty Impact, we talked about that. We have some counter events. The Clay Web, the Excalibur, the Shirahoshi. This is such an overpowered event if you play the Rainbow Luffy. Because with only one Dawn you gain plus 4k power, and you have also a trigger. You can also KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. So this is like huge. We have the Gum Gum Red Rock here. It has a main. You may rest 3 Dawn cards if both players' total amount of life cards is 5 or more, and it will be most of the times KO one of your opponent characters with an original cost of 5 or less. Great card. If you find it, get it. It also has a counter, plus 3k power. It's like crazy. So these two are crazy cards. Honesty Impact, also huge card. So these event cards, this set has so many good 2Ks, so many good blockers, so many good counter event cards, right? We have, for example, the Clay Web. Give to your leader or character plus 2k. Then, if your opponent has a character with 6k power or more, you get plus 1k. So plus 3k, right, with the Clay Web. And these three are more. You can prioritize these three more instead of this one. So then we have the Excalibur. You can give -2 to 2 of your opponent characters, and your leader or one navy character of yours gains plus 1k. So these two cards are good, but I would take these cards instead. So you know what? I will not show you these two cards. So let's go further. Gum Gum Elephant Catling. You may rest one of your Dawn cards, rest up to one of your opponent characters with a cost of 5 or less. And it also has a counter. Great card because you can go for game and you can also defend yourself. Vagabond Drill, counter up to one of your leader or characters with the Fishman or Merfolk type, plus 3k power. So if you play the Rainbow Luffy, it's a plus 3k power. We have the Gum Gum King Cobra, up to one of your leader or character cards gain plus 2k power during this turn. And then if you have 4 or less cards in your hand, that card gains plus 2k more for 1 Dawn plus 4k power. It's like crazy, guys. And we do have a main, an activate main event. Return up to one of your opponent's characters with the original cost of 4 or less to the bottom of their deck. And the last one is the Gear 2, the second gear. So it has a counter, and you may rest 2 of your Dawn cards. If your leader is blue, add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. So your Rainbow Luffy has all the colors, so you do get also to ramp with this this card. In my humble opinion, if you find any of these events, grab them. They are way too strong, right? All of them. So to sum up, we do have the blockers. If you find blockers, grab them. If you find 2Ks, grab them. If you find one of these events here, if you find one of these events here, also grab them. If you find any of these top cards, also grab them, right? And then you can count these cards and see if they are 40. If they are 40, if they are less than 40, then you can also add some of the other cards like vanilla cards or cards that we didn't mention in this video. If they are more than 40, then I will recommend you, for example, to have a ratio like, let's say, how many of the top cards did you find? 5. You put all of the top cards in your deck. Then I would put like 5 event cards. Then you have 30 more cards, right? And then I would put like 20 blockers and like 22 Ks and 10 blockers, right? So if you have the ratio, so then you would have a deck with 20 blockers which you can also play on curve. Then you would have like 10 blockers, 5 events, and also 5 top end cards. This is what I would recommend you to do. So let's go back here, and of course, if you do that and you play well, you will win this card. And let's go back and see an example. So I don't affiliate with Card Kaizoku, but I find this is a great way to prepare for anything in One Piece. So as you can see, it's like the deckbuilder.kaizoku.com, and here you can say, for example, OP11. You will find all the OP11 cards, and then you can simulate something that you want, right? So let's say that you go first. If you go first, let's see what do we have for the 1 cost to play. From these characters, I wouldn't play anything, to be honest. So the only card that could be played is this Prince here, the Prince Cruz. But also this card is not the best card to play, right? So as you can see, in this particular format, if you can go second, go second. Why? Because if we are like second, we can, for example, play a blocker like the Monkey or the Capone Bears. Yeah, this is not for the on curve, but you can play something on curve. And then let's say that we play this character, right? Let's simulate that. So our opponent is at 1 Dawn, he does not have anything to play. Then we do play the Bears, and then our opponent is at 3 Dawn, right? So he will attack us. And we will take 1 life. And then we are at 4 Dawns. So at 4 Dawns, we can play either a card of 3 cost or a card of 4 cost. For example, here we could play our Smoker, which is also blocker and has a great effect. Or we could also play, let's say that we don't play the Smoker. Let's find, is there any vanilla here? Vanilla 2K. Or for example, you can play this one, but it's almost impossible for your opponent to get rid of if you play the Rainbow Luffy, right? And then you still have 1 Dawn to swing to your opponent with 6k, right? Yeah, and your opponent will play then, let's say, a 3 cost, and then you're at 6. And when you are at 6, this is where the fun begins. Because guys, here you have so many options. You can play, for example, a vanilla. You can play a Zoro. You can also play an X-Drake here, which has also great stats. You could play your Luffy. You could play another vanilla. You could play let's see, an Usopp, and attach 2 dons here and attack. So as you can see here, you're in such a great advantage because you do have a blocker, have established a blocker, and you have 2 characters. One of them can attack. Also, your leader can attack to the opponent leader, right? And you get 2 swings there. And then you are at 8 ton. And at 8 ton, if you have found one of these cards and you play it on curve, you will be unstoppable. Believe me, you will be unstoppable. So this is if you go second. So let's see if we go here first. So if we go first, we saw that we don't have anything to play, anything good to play at 1 don. And then we are at 3. But if our opponent has already found anything at 2 dons, then he has already a blocker here, right? So let's also do that. And let's say that our opponent now plays a Buzz. So we are at 3 and we can play something. If you go first, I would play a Robin if you find her, or a Borsalino. You can also arrest the Borsalino and attack this blocker and KO this blocker immediately. So if your opponent goes second, plays a blocker, and you have this Borsalino, it's like a win condition, right? So you activate this one, this main. So like let's see, we don't play the Robin, we play the Borsalino. We activate main and we attack this. So it's like crazy, right? Because we get rid of that, and then he's at 5, he will play something, and he will be at 4 next turn. So he plays something with 4. You still have this Borsalino, or if he attacks to your Borsalino, it's like, okay, it's a blocker, or if he attacks with 5k, you can also defend that, which would be great, right? And then if he wants, let's take that scenario, right? Let's take that scenario. This leader, let's say this is the opponent leader, right? Oh, here. This is the opponent leader, and he has like 5k. So if he attacks, if he attacks here with a 5k, and you have like, let's say that you have a 2k and then 1k, so you give that 6k, that does nothing. And then he will play a 4-cost character. Let's say that he will play this one, for example, and in your turn, when it's your turn, this one is again active. You are now at 5 don, and you can play, let's see what you have at 5. You can play that one, for example, and attack him. And then you have 2 characters, or you can also put that sideways, establish something smaller. Let's say that you establish again something with a 3-cost, like a Robin, right? And then you attach 2 dons to your leader. Now your leader is at 7k, and you attack 7 to 5. So you ask for 2 cards of your opponent, and then for the next turn you have 2 characters for your opponent to deal with. Plus he has, if he defends that, then he has way less cards in his hand, right? So this is how you play when you go first. And then, of course, you establish something at 7. Let's see what do we have at 7. At 7 we have the ECG, so at 7 you would most likely establish something with 6k and then also attack, right? And then you are at 9. At 9 we don't have any cards at 9. So when you are at 9, then you will most likely establish something from 6 to 9 done, and then the rest on you will invest them to attack your opponent. But yeah, it is what it is. So this is how you play. This is why I'm most likely choosing to go second in this particular OP meta, or let's say for the release event, because there are more cards to play on curve. So when we say on curve, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, without wasting any dons. But there are also some possibilities if you go first, like we saw now, especially if you draw and play this card on curve first. Okay guys, so this was the video for today. I hope that I have helped you a little bit, a tiny bit, to understand how you want to play or how you will play in this release event. And I hope that you will win your Mihawk release winner card. And let me say before I close this video that if you don't want to play the Rainbow Luffy, and of course your store tells you that you can play whatever leader you want, then I would either play in your place Bonnie, either Bonnie, it's a great choice, Sanji is a great choice, and last but not least, Kid is also a great choice. So again, Kid, Sanji or Bonnie would be my pick if you don't have the Rainbow Luffy to play. Okay guys, this was the video for today. Thank you all for watching. Again, I hope that you win your release event. Write me down in the comment section below if you did win this event, after you have done it of course, and if this video has helped you even a little bit to do that. Thank you all for watching guys. Peace.